for. With his Khimik team, or Khimik, which is, by the way, a chemical plant. And the goaltender getting the start tonight is Alexei Chervikov. Alexei, 24 years of age, 6'1", 191 pounds. And Mario Kosalin will start in the nets for the Los Angeles Kings. He and Kennedy have been sharing the goaltending. Rudy was spectacular in a 6-0 win over the New York Rangers here on Saturday night. He gets the rest. Los Angeles sends Krushelnyski to center ice. Wayne Gretzky is playing on the left side. And immediately, Los Angeles dumps the puck into the Soviet Union zone. Captain Smirnov playing it out of there. Alexander Smirnov, who made the tour last year with the Soviet Central Red Army team, is out on the forward line, along with Tita. Chrysler playing the puck out of the Los Angeles zone. Gretzky gave it right back to him. Chrysler, the Czech player, kicks one high off his stick and up into the seats. There is the captain of the Los Angeles Kings, Wayne Gretzky. Several of their regulars not in the lineup tonight, but Wayne Gretzky is. And this is not his first introduction to Soviet hockey either, is it?
No, without Wayne playing in this game, it would take a lot away from him. I think the people that would be most disappointed if Wayne didn't play would be, the Soviets. They look forward to Wayne. They really do that. He's sort of the benchmark. He's the guy that they try to compare everything with.
And a look at the Soviet players bench. Vladimir Vasiliev is the coach of this team. Khimik. That is not Valery Vasiliev. Longtime fans of Soviet hockey will remember Valery as an outstanding defender. This man's name is Vladimir. They say that he's rather unorthodox, but most of the Soviet coaches have a certain style, and we're going to get a penalty here. First penalty of the game will go against the Soviet Union. Albert Malkin took his man down. And the penalty called now by referee Bill McCurry will be for tripping. And Los Angeles will go to the power play 1 minute into the opening period.
Well, Jake's amazing. You got these names down already. I'm just going to try to follow you, my friend. It's sort of a very soft type of call. Bernie Nichols working through the crease a little bit, and I don't know, he might have skated right over the goalkeeper's stick, but whatever. It's when you're at home, you get those calls. So, if you would be in the Soviet Union, well, it would have been looking just the opposite.
Chervikov in goal. He's the young man that was disciplined by the Soviet Hockey Association last year. He came over with the B team, and in Regina, Saskatchewan, he was accused of shoplifting. Nobody said whether he was guilty or not, but the fact that the Soviet Sports Committee last season disciplined him, you have to think that they felt that he was indeed guilty of some misdemeanor. But he gets the start here tonight, and he has been outstanding. First half of the season, Khimik with the best record. Beating up on everybody. Really, the race is for second and third place right now.
Jeez, that's a story in itself. But the Red Army team, they say they don't rebuild. They sort of reload. But I think they are rebuilding this year, and they're looking for the 92 and 94 Olympic Games.
They will be over here later on. That's Marty McSorley playing the puck to the left point. Kings can't hold it in. And Khimik starts out of the zone. Coming to center ice is Tutino. His shot turned aside by Goslin. Ends up over on the left side. Played one around the boards, and Nichols dumps it out through center ice. Robitaille tied up. And here's Brian Benning. Benning acquired from St. Louis. He's given it to Bernie Nichols. Plays it to Gretzky. Shoots. Tied by Pernikov. And the Soviet team able to clear down the ice. 1 minute, 2 seconds remaining in this power play. Marty McSorley moves in. Shot one around the defenseman. Selyanin, and it went wide of the net.
Jakes, remember a few years ago, Marty McSorley never saw any ice time in that power play. Now he gets a lot of it.
He's been red hot recently for the Kings. Gretzky playing it back to Peter Braisler. Braisler had it knocked off his stick. It comes out to center ice. Velipukin out there killing off this penalty.
Nothing better than a Czech trying to beat the Russian. Or the Soviet, I should say.
And you can see the goaltender, Chervikov, covering the puck. Way behind the net, up against the boards here. 30 seconds remaining in the penalty. Looking at the Soviet players here this morning, they are very young. In fact, two of their youngest players aren't with them. They left a 19-year-old, a couple of 19-year-olds back. And they're going to Moscow, as a matter of fact, to practice with a junior team in preparation for the World Junior Championships, which will be getting underway right after Christmas, December 21st, I believe it is, in Finland.
Yeah, they had two 19-year-olds they left at home and one 17-year-old. And that's the Red Army team this year, Jakes. They are a very young hockey club. As I said, they've got to rebuild. I think it'll be good for the National League and the Soviet Union A little bit more parity, I guess. Some new rivalries being developed. And it's not the same old ho-hum thing for the last 14 years. The Red Army team has won that championship.
No, not at all. Breaking in off the right side for Los Angeles, Rico Makula, acquired last week from the New York Islanders.
Remember that guy, Jake?
We do. Had a long talk with him tonight. Very disappointed in the trade. Shocked. Didn't expect it. He said, you have to make the most of it. I'm not the first to be traded, and I won't be the last. So Khimik is able to kill off the penalty. Malgin is out of the penalty box. There is no score. We have played just over 3 minutes of the opening period. Soviets playing the puck into the Los Angeles zone. Volnov is out there now. He's another outstanding player. There are two Volnov players, brothers. You see the Kings with an opportunity in the goal mouth, but it's played out of there. The right side, Kudonov in center ice. Andre Kudonov, the 26-year-old. Kings take over deep in their own zone again. Try to move it up the left wing boards. Jay Millard out on the ice. They had the opening goal, winning goal against the New York Rangers. Lindholm plays it to the right side. There's Allison, moves right in. Jamaica about to make the save. The puck comes loose momentarily. Now is covered at the defense. And a face-off coming in the Soviet Union zone. There is no score. You're watching the Kings and the Soviets on Sports Channel.
CCM 651 Tax, the only skate with vacuform, heat molded to the exact shape of your foot. The only skate with heel lace, dual lacing that locks in perfect fit to transmit your power and control directly where you need it most, right into your game. 651 Tax by CCM. Turn on the power.
Well, as we return to the Forum in Inglewood, you see the map of the Soviet Union in Moscow, right in the middle of your picture, and just a little below, 18 kilometers, right in that area, is where this team is from, this Khimik team. So it is a small city, they tell me, but a suburb of Moscow. Interesting looking uniforms, aren't they?
Well, I think it's a good looking uniform. So I think when we associate the Soviet hockey teams, you remember in the early 70s, Jakes, and even 10 years ago, how they would be drab and the uniforms would be, well, I don't know how we could say somewhat complimentary, but even the equipment, the skates, the gloves and whatever. So they made some great improvements by getting some money, some unique ways of buying new stuff. Wonder how they got that money.
I don't know.
As I said before, they're exporting hockey players and importing wheat.
You know, these are brand new uniforms. All the equipment that they're wearing provided as part of this arrangement of the teams coming over here. You see that CCM insignia, sticks, and helmets, everything is brand new. There is no score. We're 4.5 minutes into the opening period. And it can't clear the zone. Benning fed it across, and Robitaille's shot is blocked. Goaltender, Chervikov, playing up the boards, but not out. Here's Robitaille. Centered it back. Benning shot. Off the skate. Picked up again by the Kings. Little stick work here, drawing the attention of the fans. Puck held in. Scott Bjugstad up from New Haven of the American Hockey League out on the ice. Bjugstad started the season with an injury problem, but has really responded recently. A long shot, turned aside, pad save as Gosselin put the right pad up. And here's it from the crowd. There's going to be a hooking penalty on the play. You look at Mario Gosselin, quite an acquisition from Quebec.
Well, Gosselin is very familiar with the European style of play and how they will shoot off passes and how they will probably make the extra pass, being a member of the 1984 Canadian Olympic team. Well, he does give Los Angeles that all-important depth that any good hockey club needs. The days of one good goalkeeper is going to be hard to play in the National Hockey League with the parity and the depth that's being developed.
Well, a hooking penalty on Tim Waters of Los Angeles. Kings a man short here. Notice on the bench tonight, Cap Rader and Rick Wilson handling the coaching chores. Tom Webster watching from upstairs. Is in communication with them, but not handling the team on the bench. The Kings have dumped it down the ice. Fourth number 4, Seguin.
You know, the first 5 minutes are going to be an indication. The Soviets, being the first visit here to North America, are very timid. Almost like they're a little shy. They don't know what to expect. L.A., they're saying, geez, you know, it's another ball game tonight now, 80 games plus playoffs. What do we have to do? Play another exhibition game for? That's not really on their high on their priority, even though it goes for a great cause to develop money for the pension plan.
Look at the Los Angeles bench. Yeah, the money is the important thing, I guess, from both teams' perspectives, in particular the Soviets, because it's an infusion of new money to their program. And for the players, all 21 NHL teams, since the series began, going back to the 70s, over $18 million has been kicked into the pension fund.
So it is important. Everybody worries about injuries in games like this. I think last year here in L.A., Bobby Carpenter broke his hand, Jigs, if we remember.
That's right. Yeah, they look at that as a situation that is one of those things you don't like to have it happen. 20 is Valerie Telepukin, 21 down, 6'1", 181 pounds. I mentioned earlier, he made the trip last year with Central Red Army. D-Top on that draw, number 13 for the Khimik team. Him centering one across. Forecheck is Allison. He and Krushelnyski up front. Still a minute and 19 seconds remaining in the Waters penalty. Into the center ice area. And the shot off right wing here by Chenko is turned aside. Hit the defenseman, and it's Allison over center ice. Gallivan plays it up the boards. And it's offside as the Kings bring it right back into the Soviet zone. This team is the first to arrive. They'll play 6 games. That's Rick Wilson back to the Los Angeles bench tonight. Here, Khimik will go to Edmonton for the game on Wednesday. They'll be in Calgary on Friday, and we'll have that game. Khimik and the Calgary Flames, no strangers. They played one another as part of that friendship tour. Calgary winning 4-2. Then they make stops in Detroit, Washington, and St. Louis. And there is the owner of the Los Angeles Kings, Bruce McDowell. He's going to join me on the first intermission tonight. Getting ready to go to Florida to attend the governor's meeting. I'm asking about what we can expect out of those meetings, what they'll be discussing. Finally, the expansion, but we'll find out from Bruce. 48 seconds remaining in the penalty to Waters. There is no score if you've just joined us. Kostrikov over on left wing, handling the puck. Laid it back to the blue line. The ball-out shot was blocked. We'll set it up again. And the spot is Yashin, but they can't get the puck to him. And the Kings fail to clear the zone. Zalgin over on the far point now. Dumps it in around the boards. Jarchenko goes up here and fires one. That just missed the net. Bouncing back along the boards. Zalgin. Zalgin puts it back in the net. Jarchenko can't get a stick on it. Now they feed it into the corner. Jarchenko centering pass, and then the shot turned just a little wide. As the Soviets set it up well. Teams are at 6 aside again. Khimik playing it to the right side. Jarchenko with a shot that's wide of the net. Back along the boards. Zalgin with the line. Works it in toward the corner. Pick up the pace a little more. I don't think they're as shy as they were at the outset now, Herb. They're taking the body, pressuring the Kings, who finally clear the zone. Los Angeles playing without Tonelli, Robinson, and of the other veterans. Sheen can't take the pass at center. It's going all the way back into the Los Angeles zone, but not far enough the ice and carried back this time. That's McSorley out there. Krushelnyski moves up front. Beck comes down the left side. Back out on the ice along with Ellick. Ellick is leading the American Hockey League points right now. 17 goals, 23 assists, 40 points in 28 games in New Haven. And in line with Bacala. Krushelnyski. This is Marty McSorley. McSorley across the line. Plays it in around the defense. Quickly backboard. It's Klemetsov. Klemetsov trying to center it. It's tangled up on the boards. Puck comes loose. Andre Kvartalnov failed to clear it out. Ellick plays it around behind the net. There's Bacala. Krushelnyski marked in front. They can't get the puck to him. Now he goes back to the net for it. Away from the Keaton. Put it out in front, and there's going to be a hooking penalty. Hooking penalty being handed out here. There is no score early in the first period, and you're watching the action on Sports Channel.
One of the great advantages of doing business with a firm like Schwab is that you're dealing with professionals across the whole country. They're creating financial advantages for the individual investor.
Many of our customers transfer their other brokerage accounts to Schwab because we make it easy. We help the customer complete the right form, they sign them, and we do the rest. It's that simple.
Call today for free information about Schwab services. 800-841-0300.
Alexei Yashkin in the penalty box, a hooking penalty, handed out at the 8:37 mark. A lot of unfamiliar names, but Yashkin is a name we've heard, although this is not the player that we thought he was.
I think one of the real hallmarks of the Russian game, the Soviet game, is the skating. We didn't see a lot of skating there. They're just reaching out, hooking and holding. Any coach will tell you want to skate through your checks back there. And the Russians, Soviets, I keep saying the Russians, Jake, but the Soviets, as Wayne Gretzky said, the thing that they have to do to be successful in the store is go to their legs, move, play a high-tempo game, because they're sure not going to win any physical confrontations.
Bernie Nichols out on this face-off with Robitaille and Gretzky. And Kings will start deep in their own zone. Chrysler set it up back of the net. Now he moves up the left side. Steve Duchesne carries the puck to center. Robitaille tips it across the line, but immediately it's cleared out of there by Voskresensk. This is Gretzky. Second power play of the game for the Kings. They send Duchesne over the line. He's taken into the boards by Voskresensk. Igor Voskresensk, 23-year-old. Kings starting from deep in their own zone. Chrysler brings it out to center ice. Over the Soviet blue line, Nichols reached for it. Chrysler knocked it away from him. It goes all the way around to Gretzky. Up the center one, that's cleared aside. Duchesne with it at the point. In along the boards intended for Gretzky, but Verzalkin broke up the play. Move him to the Los Angeles zone. Nico can't control the puck, and this is Wayne Gretzky. Gretzky over the line. What a move. In on that one, didn't he? Now puts it in the slot, and Nichols' shot is blocked. Good save by Chervakov. 36 seconds remaining in the LA power play. Nichols over the line. Cut it to Robitaille. Shoots. And again, Chervakov playing the angles well.
This is usually those.
Look at this. Nichols busting him off the glove hand. Chervakov comes up with a big save for this Khimik team. 28 seconds remaining in the Los Angeles power play. Benning pitching in off the point. Got it to Nichols. Back to Benning. Look at the blue line. Went in deeper instead with the pass to Robitaille. Left it for Gretzky. They have two Kings back behind that goal. Now Robitaille frees himself from the tight checking of Ballgame. Puts it out in front. Back to Bernie Nichols. Nichols holding it. Feeds Wayne Gretzky. Gretzky with time running out. It's poke checked off his stick.
Jason, I was going to say about the Russian goalkeeper. Usually sort of their Achilles heel. Somewhat of floppers, and they're not really in sync. They don't really play a stand-up game, but we've seen a couple big saves here by the Soviet goalkeeper.
Alexei Chervakov. Yeah, he has made a couple of outstanding saves. 9 minutes, 11 seconds remaining in the opening period here. Wayne Gretzky, topic of discussion. This young team, they are young. 29 is the oldest player that they brought on the trip. They were looking forward to playing against him, and he really made them think about this.
Well, Wayne Gretzky, there's one thing they're going to find out before the night's over. You don't do any stick checking against Wayne Gretzky, because he's going to give it to you and take it away. And this is going to find out where he's just does so well behind that goal line. He's waiting for people to get in those little seams and holes.
Krushelnyski with a shot off the left side as Ellick cut through in front to screen him. And we're going to face off in the Khimik end of the ice. There is no score. We're midway through the first period.
The National Hockey League, Notre Dame Sports, and the Pro Boxing Tour, only on the Sports Channel America Network.
Keith Gales will have 2 free throws with no time left.
They give new meaning to the word excitement.
This is it, the crowd waving their hands. Game's over. Oilers won it.
For ticket information to catch this year's Rambler excitement, call 312-274-1211.
On Sports Channel America, Wednesday.
Getting set for a face-off in the Soviet end of the ice. No score, 9 minutes remaining in the first period. Barry Beck out of defense for Los Angeles. Chased back into his own zone as this Khimik team moves up quickly. Trying to get their skating legs. They arrived here on Friday and have really enjoyed a warm weekend. Warm hospitality.
You don't think we've enjoyed it?
Speak for yourself, Herb. You're living here, aren't you? Permanently.
You don't have to be from the Soviet Union not to enjoy Southern California.
Temperatures in the 80s yesterday, high 70s today, sunny, almost fogless in the basin out here.
You can even see the bottom of the pool today, Jakes.
That's where you work. I devil you.
Doing my homework.
Beck playing the puck up the right side. That's Makela going rink wide to Krushelnyski, and his pass through the center ice area is broken up. Yashkin putting it back in for the Soviets. Drawn out by Benning. Benning over center ice. Across the blue line as he cuts to the right, but Miller got in ahead of the play, and it's offside. Jay Miller had that big goal against the Rangers on Saturday. He'll be talking with us on our second intermission tonight.
Jay also shaved that beard off. I think he's waiting for his wife Paula to give birth to that baby any day back there, and I don't think he wants to go back to Boston with that full beard. He's getting prepared for that big day. But he was pretty happy the other night, that first goal. But he'll be a lot more happy when his wife delivers and he could say, gee, that's over, because it's bothering his play right now, and he's constantly worried about it. Talked to him again today. He's always worried about what's going on back home.
Casper, Crowder, and Miller, back home guys. All three former Boston Bruins. Crowder hanging at the puck. Waters pinching it off the right point. Get it to the man who was all alone in the corner. Now they come back, and Miller plays it in. Benning holds it here on the left side. Got it to Jay Miller. Miller bumping a little bit. He and Rakhmatullin. Something like that. The player that they sprung on us.
Rakhmatullin.
What is it again?
Rakhmatullin. Now that's the only thing I'm going to help you out with tonight, Jakes. Now you're on your own. There he is, number 9. He snuck this guy in on it. Here we studied all day long. Well, not all day long. Quite a bit. We had all the names down. What happened? What? Invariably, the Soviets are going to change a few sweaters on you, add a few players on you, right? So when we started looking around, who is this guy? And all of a sudden, 10 is 22, and 10 is 22 is scratch, and this guy is that, and you know. But that's his name.
You say they always do this?
Yeah, they always do.
Did they do that?
You know that.
At Lake Placid?
Well,
did they fool you there in any form?
Yeah, a lot of times they fool you. That's just an amazing what you can accomplish when you don't know what you're doing.
Two favorite names around the hallways downstairs, dressing room area tonight. Gretzky, Brooks.
Oh, yeah, Brooks. Very good. Now, what do I have to...
And the Soviets take the lead. Loose puck bouncing around in front, and it's banged in by Val Yerkelman.
Well, you described that very well, Jakes, because it was a loose puck. There was not a... They just jumped on that thing. The Soviets will play a very conservative type of a checking game in the offensive zone. They've always got one guy high in the slot. The other two guys like to work those corners and like to throw it behind. Now, Goslin just ventured out a little bit. When you go that far out, you better control that puck or do something. And all of a sudden, he was just got a stick tied up there in Fraser's laser skates. The Soviet just jumped into it. Loose puck, bouncing puck. Goslin, stay home or get the puck. You can't get caught in between. And that's just what happened.
Your Yeoman is another one that is not in the lineup, the traveling squad that showed up to play the game. Number 22, Val Yeoman. And he has given this Khimik team a 1-0 lead. Shane playing the puck in. Take off out of the net. To the blue line, and there's that long drive blocked. Defensively playing around the boards here. Raisler back in with Lindholm. There's Robitaille over on right wing now. Luke Robitaille turns the puck over, and Khimik comes to center ice. He got the puck off the stick of your Yeoman again, and now they make a change. Playing it in. Robitaille went in after it, couldn't get there in time, and out comes Bazalgin. Bazalgin across the line. Put it in the skates of his teammate. Turning around on the play is Velapokin, and he's put it wide of the net. Harry Beck to Todd Ellick. Ellick wearing number 6, plays it through the center ice zone. We have exactly 6 minutes to go in the first period.
The Soviets will be a little bit more aggressive than showing tonight. They're more of a counter-punching team right now, Jakes. They just put 2 guys. It's like a 2-1-2 configuration. The third guy is always high, looking in the slot, maybe move over to the boards a little bit, allowing the defenseman to pinch in. He'll fill in for the defenseman. And generally, the 2 wingers are working as forecheckers, but they are not really, very boisterous about it.
Marty McSorley dumps the puck in. Back to the Soviets. Nikitin picks it up and ices it. We're going to whistle and a face-off back in the Soviet zone. They lead 1-0 as we pause now for a regional break. You're watching the National Hockey League on Sports Channel America.
He's unstoppable.
If I get the ball, you're at mercy of whatever I want to do.
Come fly with me. The ultimate video on the most exciting athlete in the world today. Every sports fan will want to own the hottest of sports videos. Michael Jordan, come fly with me. Witness his aerial onslaught as he takes on the rest of the NBA. To get your copy of Come Fly With Me, call 1-800-453-7300 for Come Fly With Me.
Good crowd on hand here at the Forum, Great Western Forum in Inglewood, California. This was part of the season ticket package. And I'm going to guess that they've got close to 15,000 in here tonight. Watch the first game of the Super Series between the NHL teams and 4 touring USSR teams. Khimik leading 1-0. The goal, Yeoman scoring from Galkin and Duquesno at 12:49. We've had 3 penalties. Kings have had 2 power play opportunities. Trail by a score of 1-0. Jay Miller out again with Crowder and Casper for Los Angeles. The Soviets play that long pass into center ice. And he's taken down. There'll be a penalty against Benning. Soviet center. Benning gets control of it. And now Khimik will get their second power play opportunity of the game. They lead 1-0 and are headed for the power play. You're watching the Soviets and the Kings.
Attention Monster Maniacs, the United States Hot Rod Association blasts into your living room with their new home video, Monsters of Rock and Roar. It's electrifying mega motor action like you've never seen before. See mud bog track racing, monster truck battles, Bigfoot versus Barefoot, funny car tug of wars, and more. Meet Vorian, the jet dragster that turns into a 2-story tall flame-throwing robot. Don't be fooled by imitations. Monsters of Rock and Roar is not available in stores. Hurry, order now.
Call now, 1-800-238-3100.
Look at the penalty call here against Los Angeles, Herb.
One of the things that the Soviets will try to do is bring a guy out of their defensive zone, that long rink-wide pass, and they put a lot of pressure on the other team's defenseman. Brian Benning just got caught flat-footed up there at that offensive blue line, recovered. This guy can skate. Didn't quite fit into St. Louis' style of play, but he'll fit in here in L.A. Good skills.
Los Angeles continuing to look for pieces to their puzzle. Acquisition of Benning, recent acquisition of Makela. Still giving up a lot of goals in NHL play. Something that folks thought would be corrected this year with the arrival of Robinson, the return of Beck, some strong checking forwards, but they still give up a lot of goals against.
I think Chiefs are looking for a couple of younger defensemen, a little more mobility. That's why they picked up Benning. That's not to say that.
Back in that zone again. You saw that slap shot. Streetcar.
Hand on the cheeks. He didn't get good wood. If he had a good wood, he would have buried that.
That's itself a little unusual. The slap shot. Two people really go more for the wrist shot. You saw the slapper again off right wing. Hold it in at the blue line and then misplay the puck. Airnoff was coming in quickly. The captain of the team, a little out of position as it turned out. See the blue ball game. Now comes right back to the blue line. Hard shot by Jakobienko. Cleared by the Los Angeles Kings. 51 seconds remaining in Benning's holding penalty. Khimik team setting up in its own end of the ice. 3.5 minutes to go in the period as they come across the line. Yeoman here on the right side. He's the only goal scorer thus far. Put it back in the net. He got hit pretty good by Beck. McSorley battling for it. Moves it up along the boards. Zalgin held it in, and then his pass was blocked. And out comes McSorley. Now Casper coming down the right side. Casper turning on Zalgin. They're coming in to help him. Now Casper with it again, and it's knocked away.
You notice there the Soviet defenseman, Cheeks, what they do in the bigger rinks in Europe, they won't turn and pivot and try to catch a guy. They'll go to a spot and make you come back to him, like spot bowling, so to speak. And in the National Hockey League, with the rinks a little narrow, the defense will pivot, try to get the guy and take him into the boards.
Well, the Kings have dumped it down the ice here. Teams are back at 6 aside. Yeah, the difference is the adjustments It'll be interesting to watch this team when they get into the third, fourth, fifth game of this tour, playing on the smaller ice surfaces here. They had a very spirited practice this morning. I know you were taken with it. Deflected right in front, scooped up and held by Gosselin. The Khimik team of the Soviet Union leading the Los Angeles Kings by a score of 1-0.
Здорово, Василий. Привет. Понимаешь,